What's up guys, it's TheGearChange here back with another video. And for the very first time, the XR5 is in the spare room, which is pretty awesome. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a Symposer delete. Now, I've been meaning to do one of these for quite a while. I've had this sitting on my desk for about a month or two, but with work and doing everything on the Fiesta, I haven't had a chance to do it. It's currently raining outside and thundering a lot, so I thought, why not try and just get this done? It shouldn't take me too long. Yeah, I guess the benefits of it, if any of you guys are looking at doing it, is sharper throttle response, gets rid of a potential boost leak. I don't think mine has a leak currently, but it's more so preventative maintenance. Again, I can't remember off the top of my head how much this costs, but I don't think it's too bad. I'll have a link down below for any of you guys who are interested in getting one. But yeah, so just going to do a Symposer delete today. Possibly looking at doing the bonnet latch. I've got an like a metal one. I can't remember where I bought it from. I think it was on Alibaba, AliExpress. I don't know how reliable it is. The mighty screwdriver that's sitting there in front of me might still be the best bet for now, but I will attempt to make it work with the original lock if I can. Anyway, let's unwrap this. Let's get into the install. Here is the mighty XR5 in all of its glory in the new and improved spare room. Again, as I've said in, I think, the previous video, it still needs a bit of work. I'm filming this pretty much the next day. But yeah, here's the car. It fits quite nicely. Again, I'm going to get like a tool cabinet or something else there that sort of sits in a bit further but is still big enough, so I've got enough space to work. I've got to set up the quick jacks as well. But here is the engine bay for those of you who haven't seen it. So I've got the 3-inch intake, the AirTech plenum, the RS ECU enclosure, custom air intake scoop, and a few other bits and pieces. Now, what we're removing today is this right here. Now, what it's designed to do is basically pump noise into the cabin through this feeder hose up the back. Now, it comes apart pretty easily. Usually you can just sort of pull it off, I think from down here. Yeah, there you go. And then that should just come out. There we go. So pretty easy. That just sort of pops off. I don't know what the go is with this, whether I can pull it out or tuck it around or anything like that. The main thing we've got to plug is down here. So I'll have to get the tools in a bit, but we'll get this and I'll get some scissors and we'll unwrap it and see what it looks like. Here is the Symposer. We'll just sort of unwrap it carefully on top of the engine without losing anything. So here it is. There's the blanking plug. Here are my two clamps. I don't think clamps are included. I think they are an extra cost, as well as the pipe, I think. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, it shouldn't take too long to install. Hopefully I don't jinx it. But yeah, so that's the parts. Again, for tools, I think I'll just honestly need some sort of flat blade or Phillips head to tighten the clamps, and these just look like little sort of Torx bits, probably like a Torx 15 or something on each of those bolts, so they shouldn't be too bad. Let's see if we can get the torch. Actually show you guys. Yeah, so we've basically got to take off these screws here, and yeah, disassemble the system, I guess, and then plug it. Looks like the hose is just down in there, so yeah. Alright, I'll set the camera up and we'll start taking this off bit by bit and then see how easy it is to actually plug it up. Okay, it is the very next morning. I had a little look online and I've decided that I'm going to take this scuttle plate off just to make it a bit easier, and so I can also remove this hose here. You can tuck it down the side, but I'd rather just remove the whole thing. So I'm going to take these two 15mm bolts off of the wipers. Hopefully that will just slide off. So there's one. Put that to a side, and then we'll get the other one. I might just leave the rings on them for now, but they should just pop off, hopefully. crap, they were as stiff as anything, so I just used a bit of silicone spray to loosen them up. Now we've got to get rid of all these little annoying pins down the side here, which are a pain in the ass to get off. Might need my flat blade to actually pry them up. There's one. These annoying little things. God knows how many of them there are. Some are easier to get off than others. Might take the rubber strip off actually. Just to get it out of the way. Dunk that down there. See if the other side's a bit easier to get them off. Fair bit easier on this side for some reason. There's another one, and then the last one's this one, which was a bit stubborn. There we go. Right, take all these so I don't lose them. Chuck them up here, and then this should just sort of slowly. There we go. Make sure I don't lose that. Try that this way. Alright, there we go. Turn that up over there. Take that off. Actually, no, I might put that back on there so I don't forget about it. There we go. Right, so there is the pipe, and there is where it's going. So it feeds up and in here, and just to this little sort of box area. So I guess I'll just have to unclip that little pin clip you guys can see there, and just pull it through to remove it. So shouldn't take too long, hopefully. Doesn't feel like it's really locked in with anything, but I'll have a quick look and then I'll show you guys how to pull it out. I managed to get the pipe off with a little bit of difficulty, and I pulled it out through the plastic sort of, I don't know, clips back there. I'm just going to leave them in there, the little sort of pop clips, and this went flying up and over the roof. So that is out of the car now, so that can go on the floor. And here is the other hose, which can also go down there. So it's pretty dirty in there, so I guess while that's sort of open, I might give it a quick wipe down just with a few different things, and then we'll work our way down here to this little bugger, and we'll take it off and get that hose off and get the new one on. From what I've seen, the hose on the factory one can split with age, hence why I went for this one with the plug and also the little sort of hose, I guess, a bit of silicone, just because you can just plug it, but again, if there's a split in the hose, it's not really going to fix it. So I'll give this a quick clean, and then I'll set the camera up on the other side and we'll work our way from there. I have given the top area here a bit of a wipe down and a bit of a clean. It's not perfect, but better than what it was. Now, we have to get rid of this bracket right here. For some reason, this bolt is already loose. I don't know if I already loosened it last night or what the dealio is, but we'll carefully take that out. Now, how does this... there's another nut up the top. Alright, so there's that one. Not too sure on what size it is, but we will get to the other one shortly. I'm gonna go with a 10 mil. I'm gonna try my luck and say it's a 10 mil. I could be wrong. but let's just have a look. I accidentally dropped the mighty 10mm socket, so unfortunately had to cut there. But we are back. I think it is a 10mm. We will find out now whether or not I was correct. Yes, I was correct. Let's see if we can get this undone. That's pretty easy. Literally just one quick spin. Oh, so I'll do this, undo this by hand. Be careful not to drop anything. Nearly there. Alright, there we go. There's the bracket. Don't want to scratch the plenum. So, got a lot more access and space now that that's out. Really don't know what on earth I'm actually going to do with it now, but we'll put it to a side with the other ones so they can sit over there. So we've got more access. Now, the next thing is to basically loosen this clamp right here. Supposedly, some of these Symposer systems will just pop right out. Others are a bit of a pain. So I might need to get my prick tool. We'll soon find out. I will grab my needle nose pliers, or maybe actually my other ones. Just my standard ones. And we'll see if we can clamp it and get them off. Might be trickier than I'm thinking. I'll try the needle nose ones. No. Alright. I'm gonna need to try and give myself more space and maybe tuck that underneath there. I'll see if I've got any other tools to actually loosen that clamp. Hopefully you guys can see the clamp that I'm talking about. It's just down in here. So I'll see if I've got any tools that might be able to sort of loosen it a bit. Alright, so I've managed to tuck this out of the way. It's just a matter of sort of either sliding the clip back or sliding the clip forward. It just seems to keep moving back towards the engine, which is pretty frustrating. So I'll chuck it in there again, grab it and try and wiggle it maybe back and see if she'll come out. No, still nothing. Even after all that. Jeez, alright. I'll have one more go at pulling it sort of further back down that way. No. She's not having a bar of it. Alright, let's pull it out and give it a yank. No. Might need to try and loosen it a bit more with my little pin here. Absolute mongrel of a thing to get out. Like most stuff on these cars. Feels like it's slowly coming now, but again, it could just be an illusion. See if I can just break the seal enough. Right around the top there. Absolute pain. Alright, so with more difficulty than there needed to be, I have successfully removed the Symposer. My goodness, what an absolute pain in the ass that was without C-clip pliers. So I will definitely be buying some. Right, get that out of here. Now we have to basically take that hose clamp off and then manage to get the other one off. Other one's probably going to be even more of a pain in the ass. This one shouldn't be too bad to get off considering it's just the hose now. It should pretty much just come off if I can get a decent grip on it, hopefully. Just don't want to... No? Okay. Alright, well that's not important right now. What's important is the other hose, which I shall show you. Who cares about that one right now? Alright, so down and in there is a second one. Now that's the hose I need to take off so I can actually put my new one on with the bung as well. So what I'm going to do is see if I can get in with a plier from down in here. I highly doubt it, but I'll have a go. And from above just to loosen it, and then just before I hopefully get it off, I'll start recording again so I can show you guys how I did it. As somewhat expected, that was a real pain in the ass. I've cut my hands a little bit, but I have got it off the join. Honestly, most of it came down to using this and using my electrical pliers on a bit of a funny angle like that, and sort of just pulling it, and sort of just, yeah, every now and then using the little pin hook for a bit of leverage to sort of loosen the seal. And then towards the end I just decided to yank on it like that because it wouldn't come loose, as you can see. Now I'll try and get this clamp off now, but it's not in the engine bay, and hopefully it'll just come off. Even out of the car, it's still a bit stubborn. Right. There we go. Now, here is the hose. That's where the top clip was, I think, and that's where the bottom clip was, or no, other way around. That's where the top one was. Now, some of those tears are probably from me pulling on it a little bit, but they're still visible. These ones are there. Doesn't look like there's any sort of really down this end, but yeah, just at the sort of bend here where the Symposer was sitting, that's the tears out of the hose. So that, along with pretty much everything else, will be going in the bin. Chuck that down there. Next up is finally getting this on. Now, from what I've seen and what I've looked up, a lot of people recommend using these little pricks of a clamp at the top. So I reckon I'll do that, and then using just a standard 32 to 50 mil clip at the bottom and tightening it up, obviously just due to sort of lack of access. So if I can put it on an angle like that, I can either tighten it by hand or maybe with a ratchet or something else. So I'll tidy up my area here, and then I'll see if I can set the camera up maybe over that side so it's a bit easier or a bit higher, so you guys can see where I'm working from. Alright, so here is the Symposer blanking plug with the new bit of hose. Got the clamp here, the original one at the very top, and the one that came with it down here at the bottom. So just gonna try my best to, yeah, pretty much just get this on here with ease, which shouldn't be too tricky. Oh, actually, before I do, I might rotate the clip the other way so I can actually tighten it. That would be good. And then maybe, no, I'll see if I can turn it that way. Yeah. Alright, so that's pretty much on there right where it needs to be. And then obviously what I've got to do is tighten that clamp up there. So I will grab my Phillips head. Hopefully you guys can actually see what I'm doing. I might try and move the torch a bit. Maybe there, that might be easier. Just have to hold it in place while I turn it. Might be easier with a Phillips head actually. Thing is, it needs to be all the way down here, so unless I put it on a slight angle so I can get the screwdriver through. Oh, whoops, turning it the wrong way. No wonder why it's coming loose. Let's make sure we put this on properly. So I have to probably put it up about here, just so it's sitting on the blanking plug, but not too close where it won't actually be clamping it. Alright, it's not super tight, but it's on there. So let's see if I can lift the camera up for you guys and show you where it is. So that's it down there. I'll give it like a proper tighten up. And make sure it can't go any further down on that bit there so there's no leaks. I'm pretty sure that's where it's meant to sit, but if it does change, I'll let you guys know. So I'll have a little fiddle around and then we'll take it for a spin. The Symposer blanking plug is finally installed. Just tightened it from above on an angle like that with a bit of a longer screwdriver, so it seems to be pretty tight to me, and the clamp at the top is nice and tight. I guess there's more access now to the alternator and other bits and pieces, but I'm just gonna quickly put the scuttle plate back on and the wipers, give it a little bit of a clean, and then I'll back it out of the spare room and I'll see if I can get the camera on my head for a little bit of a POV. I'll take it for a quick lap and we'll make sure there's no boost leaks or issues or anything like that, and see if there's any difference in sound. Apparently there is a slight difference, but I guess we'll soon find out. So I'll put this back and we'll get driving. Just before we take the XR5 for a drive, one thing I forgot to mention was this little hole here. Now, obviously, when the hose is in here, you know, that's sort of filled or blocked, and water can't get down in there. Now, not much water is ever really going to come down into this spot here, but there's a bit of dirt build up, so it's not impossible. So from what I've seen, a lot of people just tape it up. I'm not sure whether I'll do it on this back side or the top side. I'll probably do it on both sides, to be fair. I've given it a light clean but nothing major, so I'll just tape that up now and then we'll put it in the car. So I've just taped up this side here, so it's pretty good. I don't think any water's going to get through on that side, but obviously with this being the top side, I'll have to add some tape here as well. So not too sure on what this tape is. I don't think it's standard electrical tape, but either way, it's pretty good. It's quite sticky. It's not sort of losing its gloss at all. I'll try and line that up somewhat in the middle. It's pretty good. So I'll just add a bit more.
"2,000 years later."
Alright, so there is all the taping done. I know, it took a while. But yeah, so that's taped up good enough for me. No water's gonna get through that, that's pretty strong. So we will put that back on the car and take the Focus for a drive. Alright, so we are in the Focus. Not sure how long the camera's gonna last, as the POV camera does seem to die a little bit, but doesn't seem to be any boost issues. Turbo seems to be a bit louder. Still pulling as hard as ever. Thanks again to WiperTech for being a sponsor as well. You can use my code to get a discount. They are coming in clutch with all this torrential rain we're getting. Pretty much had a storm every single weekend. That's pretty spot on. I was doing 51. But yeah, Focus is having no issues. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.